Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center in Lower Lake. And it is time for you to mute your sound and enjoy this service. Reverend Angelika Schafer is an ordained interfaith minister, and we're honored to have you here with us this morning to begin our service with opening prayers and just her beautiful, beautiful voice and very thank you, thank you. That's all. Angelika.
So I want to start with a message from Source that I channeled recently, and it's very joyful. So just relax and enjoy the just this message that came through. Oh, my beloved, you are so ecstatic. You simply want more of yourself. You want to know what it is like to wake up fully in a limited system and how that can be accomplished. Well, congratulations, my dear. You are succeeding. I love you more than words could ever convey. And I am dancing myself into the light with you. Through thick and thin, through all of the days and the nights. To be ever closer, to melt and merge with you in utter ecstasy. Because that is who we are. It is what we're made of. Just like the old ice is melting, so are the old patterns, frozen for eons of time. They are thawing more each day, and the more they do, the more your light shines in this expression of physicality. Let's keep going, my dear. Let's never stop knowing and being each other. You are the bliss, the breath, and the life that flings itself into all created beings and forms. Oh my goodness. Too much for the human mind, but makes perfect sense for the heart. Thank you. And then we will continue with this chant by Snatamkar, and it is called I Am. And it means the chorus is in Sanskrit, and the chorus is Sat Nam. I am, Sat Nam, I am. Sat means truth, honesty, or the reality of existence. And Nam is a name or identity. So Satnam means in the name of truth, I am truth. Truth is my essence when I am identified with the reality of existence. So please feel free to chant along on the chorus. It's really easy, and it gets you into this beautiful space. Satnam, I am. Grace, I'm lifted by your air with every breath. Satnam, I am free. I feel the waters bless me with your love. Satnam, I am strength, I am the fire that rises when I sing. Satnam, I am grounded, I am one with the earth, we are all. Satnam, I am. 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 Satnam. Satnam, I am grace, I'm lifted by your air with every breath. Satnam, I am free, I am the moment when I smile, I am. Satnam, 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 I am. Satnam. Satnam, I am free, I feel the waters bless me with your love. Satnam, I am grounded, I am one with the earth, we are all. Satnam, I am. 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 Satnam.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Angelika. You're amazing. And it was beautiful. And I am.
I have one more. I guess it was a part of a prayer. Like this song is a prayer. It's by Krishna Das. It's called By Thy Grace. So I'll do that before you do the readings, if that's okay. Closer than breath, you are the air. Sweeter than laughter, you are here. I am a wanderer, you are my peace. I was a prisoner, you are release. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev. By thy grace, by thy grace, by thy grace, by thy grace. I am a pilgrim, the road so long. I am the singer, you are the song. Held in the open sky, so far above. I am the lover, you are the love. By thy grace, by thy grace, by thy grace, by thy grace, I follow your footsteps through the flame. All that I ever need is in your name. I carry your heart in mine, vast as space. All that I am today is by your grace, by thy grace, by thy grace, by thy grace, by thy grace.
By your grace, we have Angelika today. I know you're going to share your gifts with us at this wonderful service, but right now I am going to read then the invocation affirmation. And I want to just think about this, although, thank you. This is who we are. There is only one presence and one power active in my life, God the good, omnipotent. There is only one presence and one power active in Unity Clear Lake Center, God the good, omnipotent. And finally, there is only one presence and one power active in our world, God the good, omnipotent. And the basic foundation of unity, the basic ideas of unity are first, God is absolute good, everywhere present. Human beings have a spark of divine spirit within them, the Christ consciousness within. Therefore, they are inherently good. Human beings create their experience by the activity of their thinking. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Number 4, prayer is the process that affirms our connection with God mind and brings forth wisdom, healing, and everything good. And finally, knowing and understanding universal laws, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. And I know we are going to be inspired this morning by more music and her talk. I mean, her talk going deeper. So please stay after her closing song um, for a few announcements before we unmute and go to chat. So, Angelika, thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Very beautiful. So the reason I called this theme is going deeper is because life seems like a fast-moving river these days, and the current is so powerful and so strong. And it could be also called going deeper, wider, higher, and lower. And what it means to me is to explore all of life and to come to a place of sacred neutrality, actually. It doesn't mean we are passive in the outer world, but in the inner world, we are not evaluating, not judging, we're not resisting, we're just actually working with what is. And the first thing to work with is our own mind. And our own mind is just basically a conglomeration of programs, of societal, parental, school, religious conditioning. And it will, if we let it, it will run those programs for the rest of our lives. And you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he spoke about how when we don't change anything, we follow the same habits all the time, then nothing in our lives can change. Like the same mental, emotional, and psychological habits of, thinking, feeling, the loops that run in our brains, as we repeat those day after day after day, that nothing will change. It will just be more of that in different variations. So one other teacher says, your discipline is your destiny. And I really, really like that. So we're all just babies, really. We're just learning to work with our equipment, this incredible mind that is a part of God's mind, but has been programmed in a way that is not in our best interest. So we are learning to work with ourselves more optimally, more beneficially. And one of the things, it's been thrown around is the term self-love. But what does that really mean? To me, it means that we learn to see ourselves through the eyes of Creator. And I reflected on the fact that as children, when we made a mistake or we didn't know, we did something that the adults around us didn't like, whether they were teachers or parents, what did? They beat us up, or they yelled at us, or they abused us, instead of teaching us the proper way or the better way, or maybe they didn't know what the better way was. It just didn't like what was happening. But, we are here to lovingly explore. And in creation, nothing is always going only one direction, only up, 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 better, better, better. That seems to be the Western model. Our economy, always up, 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 more, 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 more. It doesn't work that way in creation, in nature. It's more cyclical, and it's more like goes in loops. So it goes around in circles and it comes back to itself. And so what happens is we, manifest well, we get what we've desired, and we have this wonderful life, and all of a sudden we find ourselves on this plateau. And so then we go, what else is there? I've accomplished what I thought I should, or what I wanted even, and what I thought would make me happy. And then there's still this what's the more? And why is that? It's because life, and we with life, with Creator, with Source, we keep seeking challenges for ourselves, individually as well as collectively, to then learn how to solve them to allow for a new creation. Because Source is ever new joy. There was this chant, joy, 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 ever new joy, 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 ever new joy, joy. It goes on like that, but it's really true. Life is ever new joy, So a couple weeks ago, life brought me a very unexpected something that I didn't know what to do with at first. One evening on the screen door hung a little creature, black and white, and it yowled, and it scratched, and it tore up the screens, and it just was crazy. A 1.5 pounder, a kitten that showed up in the middle of the wilderness. And it was so hungry and starving that when I fed it, it yowled while it was eating. And it was climbing up on everything, and it was like stressful to deal with this little creature. But as he got more and more fed and his needs met and some, care, he calmed down, and he is quite an amazing little package. I named him Merlin, and he's half monkey. But he's been bringing me a lot of gifts and a lot of lessons. So once he could trust and relax that his needs will be met, then the needs will be even more. There is even more gifts showered on him. If he can relax and be quiet instead of always clawing and biting and yowling, then he could just sit in my lap peacefully and enjoy. And we're that way with the divine. We're always yowling, I need more, more, more. Yet we are always sitting in the divine lap in a way, and the divine is working on our behalf 24/7. It really is. We just don't see it. We don't recognize it. So, so Bill, if you could mute yourself, thank you so much. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the service.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we hear you. So, so what is really important is that we learn to know ourselves. And on the Oracle of Delphi, it was displayed, know thyself. And what that means is to know also the deeper parts of us, the shadow parts, the parts that are running us unaware. And from Ram Dass, a famous spiritual teacher in the West, he says, whether this is the first day of the apocalypse or the first day of the golden age, the work remains the same. To love each other and ease as much suffering as possible. And then from Carl Jung, one of the founding fathers of modern psychology, he was actually quite a mystic. He said, the world does not reflect reality, but mirrors the unseen wounds within us. So until you make the until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Until you face the true motivation beneath your actions, you will continue to be led by it, mistaking it for destiny. Many people try to attract or manifest what they want through various well-presented means, and they imagine an ideal future, but they fail to realize that it is not what you want that is attracted, but what you are, what you're running in your deeper psyche, in your deeper emotional makeup. So if your foundational energy emits from a sense of lack or insecurity or pain, you send that signal invisibly. It just goes out, into the field. Like you send out the signal, I do not have this, or I am not enough, or I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, whatever. And by the law of frequency, you will attract experiences that reinforce that reality, like missed opportunities or relationships that mirror self-doubt. So Carl Jung also speaks about the soul is the part that needs no reason to be present. The soul needs no reason to be present. And when you act from the ego, you always do something to be chosen and to prevent loss. When you live from the soul, you no longer need to pursue because you recognize, I am myself. And what is meant to stay will stay. The soul demands your truth, not your loyalty to conformity. Vibrations born of lack are ultimately vibrations of fear of abandonment, of unhealed memories, of an inner child still waiting for someone to come and say, you are worthy, you are enough. But no one can bring that from the outside if you have not first sent that signal from within yourself. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. You no longer need to search. What you are seeking is not ahead, but in the frequency you emit with each moment. So these are just incredible principles. If we really got these, everything could change for us. The quality of our life experience would change. And you know, Abraham Hicks talks about these principles all the time in a very humorous way. I really enjoy Abraham. How they talk about the frequency that we give out is always what the universe matches. You know, it's very neutral. It's not out for our, for us to suffer at all. It's us who create that suffering from the unhealed wounds in our psyche, in our heart. And our inner children are still pretty active. I mean, look at the world. These are children playing in sandboxes with war toys because their wounds are not healed. So, so what do we do? So, it's interesting. I used to look for awakening and enlightenment as a way out of suffering. But that was kind of a fallacy, because awakening is not even the finish line. It's just the initiation. And the real shift comes when you finally see you, who you are. The world meets you at the depth that you have met yourself. So it's interesting that we need to know ourselves fully and take command over the frequencies and the hidden energy fields, signals that we're sending out from our beingness all the time. So our thoughts and our words, our voices are powerful, and they're like a 24/7 prayer that goes out to the universe. So why do we get mixed results in our lives? Sometimes we get things we don't really want. Is because of that principle, that something is operating that is much deeper than the surface stuff. So when people talk about their past hurts a lot, they continue to perpetuate that energy in a loop, in a cycle. And it isn't that we will forget when we integrate and heal these parts. It's just that we no longer have a charge, and we no longer need to put out that frequency of hurt. So it's all about that. So we are living in the midst of the end of a cycle. And you might have heard about the Akashic Records. So that is like a cosmic library where everything is recorded. Every feeling, every thought, every action. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's probably like some super quantum computer, it's just everything is recorded. And there are larger cycles in our universe that will repeat. Like in nature, there is the cycles of nature, when things first blossom into life in the spring, and then they get sustained for a while in summer, and there's abundance and it's sustaining, and then in the fall it starts to kind of go the other way, and it starts to decay, and it starts to go into a sleep mode. So the construction and the deconstruction, those are cycles, and they go on in our own lives and in our own bodies, and they also go on in the greater cosmic cycles. So there's like seasons. So right now we're in the end of a cycle, and for a little while longer the Akashic Records are open to us, so we can still learn from this world of duality, from the suffering we might have had, from the pain we might have had. So, but, it won't be available forever. It seems like at the end of a cycle, everything gets reset. So we no longer have any karma to carry. We no longer need the suffering. But make use of it. Read the book while we still can to learn as much as we can about the human condition. So I have a question, Pat. Are you not able to hear well? Or if you can't, maybe turn your volume up on your end. Go to this little mic symbol, the sound, and see if you can turn the volume up. No? Okay. All right.
Can't do anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyway,
this way.
So there are versions of self, and they all exist at once. And I think one of the most important things is that we really own and stand by our journey. That we really enjoy our very unique journey, no matter what it is designed like, what we have designed it from our soul perspective. The journey that we're walking will never come again. And it's our unique exploration of particular sets of abilities and talents and particular challenges that we chose ourselves to prove to ourselves how we can solve them. Because somehow our soul is so neutral, it's so eager to learn and to explore, and the divine in us is exploring itself.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Can everybody else hear me? Okay, Heather can hear me. All right. So the sound is usually, you do it on your end. You click on the volume, and you can usually increase it on your computer or your tablet or whatever you're using. So what I have learned that is helpful in this journey of going really deep, like insights that have helped me with this welcoming of the deeper, more painful material of life, is that the versions of myself, the one that suffered and the one that has discovered solutions and discovered that it can change the mind and can learn to work with itself more optimally, that is all what I have realized. And then that version exists, and then a future version that is more complete than this one, more perfected than this one, also exists all at the same time. So in the quantum, in the field, there is no time in that sense that we have it here. And I think right now time is very distorted. It's not linear like it used to be. Sometimes I feel it's slowing down. Sometimes I feel it's speeding up. It's just very malleable. And as I said earlier, we are in this fast-moving river. So life is moving on, whether we are afraid and trying to claw onto something, a branch on the shore of the shore of the river. I think the best thing is to jump right into the middle and let the current take us and swim with it. Because the more we resist what is happening and the more upset we get, the more disempowered we are. Of course, these times, they are so intense and uncertain. It does trigger the woundings that we have not been able to heal yet. So I would suggest for every one of us to pray about whatever way is the best way for each of us to deal with these old wounds so that we don't contribute to the chaos and the pain on this planet, so that we contribute to a peaceful, coherent energy that we can generate in our hearts and minds. And that doesn't mean to bypass anything and not deal with the pain. It means to meet it full on. That's why this talk title is Going Deeper, is because as we look at what is operating in our own hearts and minds and in our own psyche, we see the patterns, and then we can ask for help. So the very most important thing is that we cultivate and develop a greater connection to source. And the way we can do that, it doesn't really matter what name or picture we put on it. It doesn't matter, honestly, what the method even, just that it has the effect of creating a greater communion and a greater connection with source. And the way we can do it is by bringing attention to that, making time each day to sit and not just pray and ask and pray, but also to sit quietly and be in a receiving mode to receive answers. That's the important part. We talk a lot and we rarely want to sit and just be quiet and listen and receive. And there are messages, but they are more subtle, of course. You have to maybe train yourself a little bit to hear them. But they're always there, whether they're on your clock where you see 11:11 or 5:55 or 3:33, like I do all the time. It's a message, maybe from the angels, but from the guides. But what do I do with that? Oh, it's a time to check in and to listen and to say, hey, how are we doing? Are we in alignment right now, or are we running an old stress pattern? So it's interesting how it's really all about awareness and where we put our attention. Where we put our attention. If we put our attention onto our own problems and shortcomings and what's wrong with us, then somehow we increase it. But if we put attention on those things in a way that is helpful and useful, like working with certain methods that actually release these and help us to integrate these energies, then that is a positive thing. But if we always put our attention to the problems in the world that we cannot solve, whether it's getting upset about politicians or whether it's upset about crumbling systems or wars or whatever, in this moment, the way that I can contribute to that, improving and getting more peaceful, is by emitting a more peaceful, coherent frequency in my own being. And that is really, really, really important. So it's basically stop arguing with life. We always want to be somewhere other than where we are. I notice that when I work with clients and I do sessions with clients, they always want to be somewhere else. And even children, they're being taught, oh, I want this, I'm not happy. And they make a fuss and a tantrum. I'm not happy until I have that particular thing or that. We're so much like that. So we want life and other people even to be different than they are. We even want ourselves to be different than we are. When we want to be elsewhere already at the goal or finish line. So what I had to learn, that there is no finish line. Life is always ever more cycles, ever more loops, ever more joy of its own self-exploration. And I'm just a part of life's exploration, God's or Source's exploration of itself. I'm a part of that discovery process. So if I make myself wrong, like I was made wrong as a child when I didn't know something, the correct way to do something, I was punished for it, I had to overcome that pattern so that I can joyfully explore difficult, even making mistakes or not doing the right thing, and not beat myself up. I had to learn that. So when I learned that, I can work with my mind and my emotions and turn them around. Nobody here is perfect. There is no finish. There is no perfect. This is an evolutionary world. It's an evolutionary planet where we're here to evolve through the challenges that our soul picked to prove our own divinity, that we can overcome them, and we grow so strong and wise in the process. So in a way, also the way we experience life is like a high-rise building. If we're on the ground floor, we see things in a certain way, a certain perspective. But as we go up in the elevator, and even maybe to the top of the 40-story building, you see the whole city, you see the mountains in the distance, you see the river, you see all of the landscape. So it's just a matter of different perspectives. And it could be that your elevator goes up and down from the basement to the top many times in one day. And that's okay. Just know it's different perspectives. And stopping the fight, stopping the resistance to these experiences. Just taking note. Oh, what's going on right now? Oh, okay. Okay, that kind of looks familiar. I've experienced that before. I've experienced that even as a child, Here I am feeling that same pain. And then we can breathe. You can move your eyes left, right. Breathe deeply. Move your eyes, which will actually synchronize your brain hemisphere. So let's do a little practice, actually, that will help you to get centered and to set the ship on the right course again. Our ship, if we're sailing, we have a compass, and sometimes we don't pay attention and we go off the course that we would like to go. And so when we notice that, just notice, be aware, and setting the compass back to where you want to go, make the correction. And that's all there is to it. There's nothing more than that. And we can make the correction by many, many methods. We have so many tools available now. When I thought back at my parents, barely surviving in World War II in Germany, they had no tools. They were just surviving this utter horror with no tools, no help. Now we have so many tools, offerings, But I just want to share a really simple one with you. And that is to breathe in and becoming aware of the breath where it enters the airways, and you breathe in a certain pattern. The breath is a bridge between the conscious and the subconscious, and it's a bridge between spirit and the physical. So breathe in through the nose, which actually increases the production of nitric oxide in the body, which helps every system that we have. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And what we're going to do is take a nice deep breath on the count of 4 through the nose, and then hold it for 4 counts, and then exhale for 6 counts through the mouth. So it's like in, hold, exhale. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is beautiful. And then just on the exhale, what I see if you can practice this, actively relaxing the body. Like, you notice some tension in your body, like how we hold tension is often in the jaws. We often hold it in the shoulders, in the neck, in the belly. And to just actively let the body relax down on the exhale, like, like really let the body go like a rag doll, like a kitty in a calm moment, like it's just, So, and inhaling divine help, divine assistance, divine energy, because it's always here. We just have to ask for it. So with the intention to breathe in divine support for whatever is needed in our system. Sometimes we don't even know it consciously, but our divine does know it. So breathing in that assistance and help, holding and just allowing it to be, that's a rest period between everything. It's an amazing moment when we stop breathing. And then exhaling more deeply. So on the count of 6, we release and actively relax the body and any tension that might be there. All right, so let's do it a few more times together. I can see already. I can feel your energy already. Relaxing. You're doing great. Thank you, Bill. I can see how you're just like, ah. So taking again, the in breath is through the nose and the out breath is through the mouth. So in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, relax the body, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wonderful. And when we yawn, by the way, that is a wonderful reaction of the body. That means the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of our nervous system that's about relaxing and repair, rest and repair, kicks in. And the vagus nerve, the biggest, most important nerve in our body, is resetting itself. So when we yawn, in the therapy that I do with people, cognitive movement, I have them deliberately yawn. So like turn the head to the side and take a yawn. Real or fake, doesn't even matter. So, and then to the other side. Yeah, that's really, really good. And then if you can even add eye movement, like moving your eyes, stretching your eyes, all the way left, all the way right, without moving the head. Yeah, just keep the head steady and just move the eyes all the way left, all the way right, as you breathe in nice and deep in your own rhythm. Now what we're doing is we're synchronizing the brain hemispheres, the left and the right hemisphere. And as you do that, left, right, stretching the eyes, go a little bit higher, like forehead level. And breathe nice and deep. And then go a little bit higher still, all the way up, as high up as the eyes can stretch, and still going left, right, as far as they can. Now we're actually engaging the spiritual centers of the brain. Our spiritual capacities, brain centers are being activated because the eyes are the visible part of the brain. And they are what actually wakes up our brain centers that we normally don't use. So through eye movement, we can do a huge, huge thing. We can prevent dementia. We can prevent brain fog. We can prevent all those ailments. And we can stay young. And we can help our whole system to balance. So I teach that kind of stuff. This was just a little tool that you can use quickly whenever your compass is a little bit off. And then just also go in with utter compassion, like feeling in the body where that sorrow or that pain lives. Like, where is that upset? And when have you felt it before? And just breathe with it and move the eyes and sit with it and be with it and just see it like it's a little child that needs some care. Not to make it wrong or, oh, I got to get away from these feelings. They're terrible, just really meeting it. And that's what I mean by going deep, going into what ails us, going into the pain without dwelling on it endlessly in a useless kind of a way where it spins like a hamster in the wheel. That's when we're in the thinking mind trying to solve the problem. That never solves that way. But as we go deeper, we just allow the breath to relax the system. We feel where it is in the body, so somatically, and we engage the whole brain with eye movements. You can do different patterns. You can do figure eights. You can do a circle in each direction. Just move the eyes and breathe and relax and just meet the pain. Very welcoming, like curious. Like, what are you about? And then you would be amazed what insights you get. It is incredible. It's changed It's changed my life, and it's changed the life of many people that I've worked with. So just simple things like this, so simple, right? And it also frees up some of our energy so we can be more present and more joyful, even in the midst of such rapidly changing energies and times and worlds. So I just want to end with that I am interested in meeting the human condition full on, all of it. I'm no longer wishing to escape its messiness. I am really into embodied spirituality, not bypassing spirituality. You know, I've had many friends, and even the Course in Miracles and teachings like that can be used to bypass. And I'm not into that. And when I can honestly meet and sit with the pain of being human in this separate form, where it can get so lonely, and the inner child presents her searing pain from past wounds, when I can embrace all of it, my capacity for joy also grows. So as my capacity to meet the pain with presence, total presence, not resistance, not even trying to make it better, but just full presence, my joy also increases, the capacity for joy. It's really amazing how that happens. Most human beings are in this little tiny narrow bandwidth of what they let in, because we're pushing away that which we don't like, you know, which we're afraid of. But if we could open to all of it, we also open to all of the joy and the bliss in the universe. It's amazing. So to meet all of what is inside of us and learn to be without judgment, without flinching, it requires presence, breath, the presence of God most of all. Whatever God is for you, for scientists might be the quantum energy, the quantum field, just whatever it is, just connect with it all the time. It's the only game in town. And I know I cannot do this alone. I've felt alone most of my life, and now I know I have a divine partnership with all of creation. I just have to actively ask and actively make myself open to that, to receiving. Listen, receive. It's quite remarkable, the magic that happens. So when we see ourselves the way the divine sees us, our soul sees us, that is self-love. When we can open to that, and the way the divine sees us is we can't do no wrong. We cannot do anything wrong. There is no right or wrong. There is just exploring what works better and what works less. That's all. There is no judgment. It's just we've been so conditioned to judge. So I've noticed with my work with clients, people are so exhausted, worn out from carrying these deep sorrows and patterns with them for their whole lives, and how those pain patterns are stuck in the body. So the inner child is the one asking, why did it have to happen? Why? The inner child will never let go trying to manage your life. So we need to learn to guide that inner child with the wisdom of our soul that we're cultivating, and to guide. You know, children do need boundaries. They need good guidance. Otherwise they are lost and they act out because they're trying to find that boundary. They push against it. So do dogs, by the way. I know many dogs that run human lives because they haven't been trained properly, and our monkey mind is one that hasn't been trained properly. So let's make together the intention that we actually learn and pay attention to how to use these brilliant, amazing divine minds more optimally, more efficiently, more in a way of for the good, the highest good of ourselves and all of creation. So the compassionate question toward that part of you, the part that's hurting, would be, what is it like to be you right now? So if you ask that question and meeting whatever is within us, however it really is, no judgment, no pushing against, just being. What is it like to be you right now? you might start crying from that compassionate notion, because we didn't grow up with that. We weren't taught that. But what is it like to be you right now, with all your sorrows, with all your joys, with all your longings and aspirations? What is that like? That is what our soul and the divine in us is exploring. So when you speak out loud, give clear direction to the universe. Ask your angel team what you want. Our voices are like a magic wand. And let's open to something even better. We've accomplished much. We live in the West. We have a pretty easy life compared to other places. And then there is a judgment usually. Oh, you should be satisfied. You have so much. No, the divine always wants more. So what is the more that we could open to? What, maybe some more love for our own journey, some more respect for our own pathway. How about that? You are the team captain. So direct your above team, your angel team, direct your inner children, direct your mind, direct your heart, direct your body. Like I had to make some changes. I became too sedentary, and now in my 70s, it's much harder to stay in shape. I used to be naturally in shape. And so I had to do a workout program that I'm still doing, and doing intermittent fasting. I had to be disciplined and guide this organism because my intention was I wanted to be healthy and strong and remain fit and not be on any medications and not be in any system like that. Just be healthy and strong to be able to do my divine job here in this world while I'm still here. And it's working, but it wasn't easy. I had to use discipline. So again, our discipline is our destiny. So within 8 months that I've been doing that program, I dropped a lot of weight. I feel more healthy, more fit, more happy with myself, with my body. So it works. But let's apply it to all areas. Presence, presence, presence. And I have much more to share, but I think it's time to make a bookmark here. And hopefully I will see you again soon. I want to end with this song, closing song called Awake My Soul. And it's by a fellow named Brock Human. I just really love it. It's a sort of a mystical love song. Because when the soul is awake in me, in my human form, all is well. It's guiding me well. Father of the mountains, shepherd of the sea, author of the questions that are hidden in me, a voice out on the water, a whisper in the trees, a longing to be free. Awake my soul, awake my soul, like a river you will flow, like a river you will flow. Awake my soul, awake my soul, like a river you will flow, like a river you will flow. I see you in the sunlight, I feel you in the breeze, I hear you in the silence, in the mystery. So open up my heart, I'm longing to be free. Teach me to receive. Awake my soul, awake my soul, like a river you will flow, like a river you will overflow. Awake my soul, awake my soul. Like a river you will flow, like a river you will flow.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I hope to see you again. We hope to see you again soon. Just a few quick announcements before we unmute and then chat, if we like to chat. Just to remind you that next Sunday, Patricia Holler will be at church. The courage for joy is the topic at church, and there'll be a potluck. So bring something to share. Our Zoom service on the 24th will be with Reverend Dave Lyman, and he's terrific. Retirement, the truth of retirement. And Bill Barrows is going to bless us with his fabulous voice and the music. Then continuing back at church on the 31st, at the end of the month, we will have Sarah Merlin speaking about angels. So, just to remind you that we are very grateful for your support and love offerings to Unity, P.O. Box 755, Lower Lake, California, 95457. And so now let's unmute and stay for chatting.